Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, April 2nd, 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. It has all about my work. You can schedule an appointment on every page, and it has upcoming events as well. And for those of you coming back every week, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Also want to remind everyone, especially if you're listening to this on YouTube, to like, subscribe, and share. I'm also on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp, and I have a Facebook business page under Spirit Teacher Lisa M. Hopp. So please be sure to check out all those sites. Now, every week I try to do a different topic, though you probably know if you come every week that there are similar conversations or blending or advice and wisdom to give, I suppose. And perhaps this week's topic is a little bit of that as well. You might have heard something like this before, but it's so worth saying again, reminding. I myself, even though I teach about how to manifest, I read energy, I still love reinforcement. I still read books. I still listen to YouTube videos that teach me or remind me what I already know. And yeah, sometimes I even learn some new ways of thinking and doing things. So this is what this podcast is all about. To help us all to navigate this life that we're going through, but also to learn spiritually, to develop spiritually, to expand spiritually. And so that brings me to the topic of today. And the topic of today is becoming what you want to be. Because you have to become it first. You have to become the person with perfect health. You have to become the person who has a wonderful love life. You have to become the person first that has wealth. And then once you become these things, you see it all around you. Wayne Dyer used to say, the great spiritual teacher who is now passed, he used to say that you have to believe it before you see it. And that's what I'm talking about today, but I'm bringing it a little more in depth. I'm telling you, you have to be it before you see it. Not just believe it can be yours. If you want to hit the lottery, you have to be the lottery winner first. In emotions, mentally, spiritually, how you speak. Now, I'm one that believes that you shouldn't speak too much, because then when you put it out there, you'll get some feedback potentially from those around you who are maybe not aligned with where you are. That can cause you to have doubt in what you're doing. And I don't like to murky up my waters. And that can happen, if you tell someone that you're going to, that you're in the process of doing something, or to be curing yourself, or buying that beach home. They might give you a face like, oh, really? And then you start to think, oh, really? So you have to be strong if you're going to talk about it. You have to be so set in your focus that there's nothing that anyone can say or do around you that will throw you off path, at least permanently. We can all have moments. One of the great teachers that I love to do his meditations, Dr. Joe Dispenza, though I do make his meditations my own, I have to say, and I think he would be okay with that, meaning that I put my little take on it as I'm going along with him. But his meditations are wonderful for getting to your subconscious mind, and he does believe. Well, he just started out wanting to know, not only how can I help myself, but how can I figure out with others the power of the subconscious mind to bring our lives to where we truly want them to be. And so there was a point to why I brought him up. And now I've lost it. Maybe I should have had more coffee with this podcast today. But the point being is that, I got it, guys, I got it. He believes, as does Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham, they believe that they believe in the power of meditations, in visualizing, in feeling, in going there, in being, Dr. Joe calls it going to space, going to the unknown. Esther Hicks would say going to the vortex, or Abraham would say putting yourself in the vortex. They're the same. They're the same. And they both will say to you that you only have to do something like that once a day and for a short amount of time. Now, Esther would tell you, maybe a minute's enough. Dr. Joe, sorry, I have met Esther Hicks. She was wonderful. But we're not, not so, I met her once. And I don't want to look at Esther and I are close, it's not like that. And I've not yet met Dr. Joe Dispenza, so we're not on a first name basis yet. Though he seems cool, he probably wouldn't mind. But Dr. Joe Dispenza would tell you if you meditate more than once a day, then what is happening is that it's because you don't believe in what you're doing enough. Because if you believe it, you don't have to do it twice a day. You don't have to meditate for hours a day. Now, a lot actually, of those who attend his groups, his gatherings, and I'm not using the right name, conferences, before they went, and even during his conferences, they're meditating. They're getting up. They're doing walking meditations. They're meditating morning and afternoon, and resting probably in the evening, and maybe some of them even meditate in the evening on their own. So they're doing it a lot. But he is aware that when people do it on their own, without him, that they're doing it because they're still drumming up that belief in the knowing that they have the cure, that they have the wealth, that they have the happiness, that they have the love. He's not saying, and I'm definitely not saying, that you shouldn't visualize more than once a day. What is the best thing to do is to at least sit down with yourself and go to that space where you're living your ideal life. What does that mean? Where are you at? And what are you doing? Do you just have the freedom to give out money to people whenever you want to and you see yourself doing it? Are you in perfect health, and what does that look like for you? Are you in a perfect loving relationship, holding hands with someone? Most likely with an invisible face, because you don't want to put someone's... if you're married, you can put someone's face to it, or in a committed relationship. But generally with love, we want to feel the feelings of having it, but not go against anyone's will by saying it has to be them, or it has to be this way with them. So that's what I meant there. So I am a big knower of the power of meditation. I've seen it work in my life, and I feel personally I need to do it more. I don't do it enough. So that's why the topic today. Because I woke up this morning and I said to myself, who am I today? Who am I in this life? And I noticed, and you may notice this as well, I woke up thinking about what I ate yesterday. We're not supposed to wake up. If you want to create your ideal future, which you do on autopilot, but if you want to deliberately create your ideal future, you want to wake up in the past. And a lot of us do it. Probably most of us do it. Notice when you wake up, whenever you listen to this, when you wake up the next morning, what are your thoughts? Are they of the day ahead, or are they at what happened yesterday or in the past in some way? So I went to do that, and I went, no, you're with yesterday. Get into today. Now today represents the unknown. So if you have try to make the time. Sometimes our lives, sometimes there's children coming into the room, or you have to walk the dog or something like that. But if you, it is good if you can, before you even rise out of bed, to think about that ideal day that you're about to embrace, that you're about to live, and start with an amazing feeling of gratitude, feeling blessed. You woke up, and it's going to be amazing. And how is it going to be amazing? Yesterday I manifested a break in very heavy downpour rain. That was me manifesting. I went ahead and said, I'm going to get to work without a jacket. I'm going to be all right. And it was downpouring in the car. And I went, nope. This is not going to be the way it's going to be when I get to work. And it wasn't. I got into work dry. And so, yes, you start when you wake up in the morning, start with things like that. It's going to be an ideal day. It's going to be great weather. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. I'm feeling so good. I am so thankful for this day I'm going to have. And you believe it and you live it. Then once you get out of bed, you're in the moment. You take it one moment at a time. When you go back to the past, you recorrect there and get back into that moment. And you live in that feeling of abundance, of health, of love, of wealth, all of that. And I noticed something else this week. I had a strange week, but a good strange week. I had a week where I got a particular set of news that I did not want to get. Now, it's not that dire. I'm not about to pass or anything like that, okay? I don't want, it's private, but I also don't want anyone who listens to his podcast to be concerned, okay? So, but I wasn't particularly happy, but I noticed something. The news made me float in my week, because I got the news early, and I'm floating along in my week. Nothing's bothering me. Nothing could bother me after that bit of news. I just went into like this shift. So I go into this shift, and it's kind of like, I guess I was in the moment with that shift too. And I'm noticing what's happening around me. Like, everything's working out on my behalf. Like, this is going to be a very small example, but I hope it'll make you smile or giggle. So one night this week, I was running late leaving work, and I was exhausted. I was, just feeling the burnout of the day, because my work, working with energy, it can drain me. And this was a particular day where it did. So I decided, which is probably maybe some of you would feel is not the healthiest choice, but for me, I felt I needed convenience, and I needed just to get something in my stomach, and it was later, and I didn't want to eat too much too late, but let's whip on in and get a vegan burger to go. And yeah, I wanted French fries with that vegan burger. But I decided, I talked myself out of it. I talked my logical mind out of it. I said, you have cash. Did I have to pay with cash? No. But I had enough cash for the burger, but not for the fries. It's also late. I want it. But I also, should I eat it so late? Probably not. Maybe you shouldn't. So I talked myself out of ordering it. Now, when I ordered my vegan burger, the very nice man said, that's all you want? And I went, yes, it's all I want. You sure that's all you want? Yes, it's all you want. So I get my vegan burger to go, and I come home, and don't you know, there were fries in the bag. And they were like the best fries ever, and not because they were free. So they were seasoned perfectly and everything. Now, why did I bring that up? Because that's the kind of week I had, where it was like, no, I want them, but it's okay. But then people would say, no, I insist you have this. And I was getting generosity all week long. I was getting things work out in my favor all week long, better than I would have expected. Even getting my taxes done was better than I expected. So, a lot. So it was, it was just, I was like, wow, if that one moment didn't happen with the news I didn't want, this would have been the most perfect, ideal dream fantasy week. It was amazing. So what was my point of bringing that up? It's because what worked for me was that I just didn't let one moment bring me down. I didn't get negative. I stayed in the moment. I floated along. Nothing was a big deal. It was like I let things go. And the power of letting all that go is that all week long, things worked in my favor. I also let go of something in my relationship area. And then I turned around and got the benefit of it. I got a return on that too. And that just happened. So it's not even about what you receive in the way of material. It's not always, it can be about emotional backup. It can be about emotional rewards. So it's very important to keep in mind. Now, if you stay as much as possible, if you become your life before you see it, and becoming your life before you see it is knowing you have it, being in the present moment, going with the flow, letting things go that are small, all of that, then you line yourself up with what you truly want. So let's go there. Wealth. I got concerned about a money thing this week, early in the week. And then I went, you know what? I don't mind saying this to you. I was like, F it. This was like, I am not going to put my focus on any worry about that, any stress, any anxiety. I don't care. I just don't care. And I didn't have to care. It all worked out better than I expected. And so another example. Now, when you're like that, it doesn't mean that you don't pay your bills, that you don't, we have to exist in this life. We have, I always say we're the only species that has to pay to live on this planet, but we do, I'm not saying to do it in a cruel way. I mean about what can really get to us, what can really bring us down. And yes, if that is something that that 5 years from now wasn't a big deal, or if you were to go to heaven, well, when you go to heaven, you'll know the things that we embrace here as that we worry about, that we stress about, that we have anxiety. When we go to heaven, it's like, wow, that was nothing. We let it go so easily. And so that's where I go. Is this something that is going to rock my world so much I can't get through it? No. Don't give it power. Don't give it energy. It is what it is. And those type of feelings and statements help me to let things go and help me to live a more abundant life. But back to the key, to becoming what you want to be. Many of us, when it comes to wealth, don't want to be a billionaire or even a millionaire. You just want to know that you have freedom, that you have enough, that you can give generously, that you can travel wherever you want, that you can own a home you want. That it's about freedom, isn't it? It's about freedom and peace and happiness. So in order to have freedom, you have to feel free first. Now, you can't fake it. What I mean by that is that while it is important to become what you want to be and to think and feel, what I mean by faking it is Don't, with wealth, go out and pile up debt in order to live a wealthy life. Because your burdens of paying off that debt are going to keep you in a state of lack. That is not what I'm talking about. The key to becoming what you want to be is to not feel lack, is to not feel the burdens of the material world. Walking around, sitting, living, existing as if you're free, inside. Talking like that, never say can't. Never say I can't afford it, I can't do it. You can say I'm in the process. I can do whatever I set my mind to. Empowering thoughts and words. That is the key. Do you ever notice, I said this to a client the other day, do you ever notice the wealthy tend to get more free stuff? You know, they'll go to an award ceremony and they'll get grab bags that are worth thousands of dollars. Why? Because they're in an abundant state. It's not because people just want to give the wealthy more. They're responding to vibration. So what we have to figure out how to pay for, if we're not a millionaire or billionaire, they just oftentimes just get a shot at it. It's given to them. Because of the wealth they feel within. If they don't feel within, then their financial life makes a turn. And so, that's a key. So if you're one that does, that freedom matters. Freedom matters. Start immediately just feeling, what's that wealth mean to me? How does it feel for me? What does my life look like? How do I feel? But you don't even have to have, some people say I can't visualize. You don't have to be able to visualize. Just feel it. Just feel good. Just feel light. And then try to do little things to represent that. Today, I said this the other day to myself. What do I need? Like, what feels good to me? What would I do if I could? You want to get out of the house that day. Okay, I'm doing it. No, it could be a day trip somewhere. It could be longer. It could be shopping online for something that you need that you've been putting off. That's all saying I have wealth. I am abundant. And so be in that abundant state that everything is working out in your favor, that everything is lining up and you don't know the divine timing, but it's happening. And eventually you will see it because the physical is always last. So what you feel and how you speak comes back to you. Now, I say this every week, but I don't know, maybe I just need to keep saying it every week. Every week. Matter of fact, this morning, I was greeted on my personal Facebook page, on the news feed, with people I know posting negative things. Giving a middle finger, sorry about that, a middle finger to the universe. And then they'll be like, why does these things happen to me? Why do they happen to me? Well, because you put it out there, so it comes back. But they don't believe in this stuff. Yeah, if you pin them against the corner, they say, yeah, things do work out for me. Yes, I've been very blessed, but their head is not in a conscious game of deliberate creation. And so much postings of, I wish I could just have what I want. I would be at a beach house right now if I could be. Okay. Put yourself in the beach house. Tour the real estate. Feel it's yours. Make it perfect within your being. It has to have so many bedrooms. It has to have this color, all of that. And then you'll have it. When we keep things separate from us, they stay separate from us. When we make it a part of ourselves, within ourselves, like our DNA, it has to show up. It's natural law. So what do you want to show up? There's so many people that just take their power away. Now, we all have moments when we notice things. I notice things. Someone has won something or has had an achievement. Now, what I've learned to do, thankfully, I'm so happy with me, is that I have learned to be happy for other people. I'm like, good for you. I say that out loud. By the way, I do talk out loud to myself. And yeah, sometimes in third person. But I will do that if I hear about a wonderful story on the news. Yay, good for them, good for you. Like, I'll just throw that energy to that person. Because not only because I'm a nice person, but also I have the understanding that how grateful, how happy I am for others will roll back to me at some point. I may not know when it's going to come. It may take forever, but here it comes. And so I'm very happy about that, because we've all been there where we go, oh, lucky them. But I'm less and less like that. You have to really get me cranky to be like that. And we're all human. And it's all right to be human. You just don't want to live in the crankiness. Because guess what? When you're cranky and you live in the crankiness comes back at you. People want to be cranky towards you. You're not going to get the raise. You're not going to get the promotion. You're not going to get the break that others would get because of what you're putting out. And I always want to say to people, but in certain circumstances, it's not your fault. But in this case, yes, it is. You're totally in control. And so, make sure, don't put your, quote, truth out there, your reality out there, unless you want more of that. And by the way, it doesn't have to be social media. It can be in what you say to others, in conversation with your friends, when you're out to lunch, with your coworkers, about your boss. It doesn't have to be on the internet. The internet's very powerful because it reaches more people. Quickly, instantly. And so, it's very important that you post what you want. Now, what gives it a steroid impact is that when you post, put some feeling into it within yourself, because the emotions are the most powerful thing, and the thoughts. The universe knows, again, when you're faking it. So if you post, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and you're like, no, it's not. The universe is going to send you more of, no, it's not. But however, if you complain on it, you're just times it. You're multiplied how you're feeling. So you don't want to multiply, but do know that you have to put some feeling to what you put out there too, in order to have the full effect. So if you want to be a millionaire, you walk around like you're a millionaire. Walk around with the feeling, I am a millionaire. Try to dress the part as much as possible. You don't have to shop at, the most highest end stores. But yes, you do dress the part as much as possible, and you can do that in your own creative way. That's a wisdom. It's just a wisdom that we all kind of know, to dress the part. Those that, I know are those who work in banking, who started at the lower rung, and they walked in dressed like a manager. And now they went up the scale and they're managers, because they went in. You go in dressing what you want to be. So as much as possible, You know, I if I get a spot on a piece of clothing, I throw it away. Number one, it's not good enough to give to charity, because why would I give a spot to someone to wear? But also, I am wealthy enough that I can afford to have clothing without spots or tears. Get a hole in a sock, it's gone. I don't even try to sew it, because I am abundant. So, neat, dress the part. Now, of course, yes, of course, you can have clothes that you paint in, that type of thing. I'm talking about the clothes you would wear in everyday life. If your wealthiest self would not wear that piece of clothing, stop wearing that piece of clothing. And if it's in good condition, give it away. Dress the part, feel the part, be the part. Now, when it comes to health, it can be a little bit harder, because sometimes health comes with a diagnosis that causes discomfort, limitations, draining of energy, conditions that the world can see and you can see. And so actually, I think, more of a hurdle. But the key is to become your healthy self as much as possible. Feeling healed, feeling in perfect health. Walking as well as you can walk. If you want to run, practicing running as much as possible. Your body was created to restore itself. It's blocked through our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, our stresses, our worries. It just blocks our body up. Walking around in a place of ideal health, within your own mind, within your own words, within your own thoughts. That's why they say laughter is the best medicine. Laugh, speak positively, feel positively, and you will help your body to heal. Surrendering that stress, surrendering that worry. But going along with any complementary medicine if you feel that is the best way to go. But go along with the complementary medicine while working on the power of your inner self and mind. Again, back to Dr. Joe Dispenza. There have been so many people that have gotten healings of diagnosis, being able to walk again, having better vision, having better hearing, all through the power of their subconscious mind, through meditations and through healing practices. It is possible. Where you at makes it probable. So see what you can do to feel your ideal self within. And when you get improvement, I've done this, I've gotten improvement myself with my physical body. Try not to notice it too much. This is strange to say, but when we tend to notice what's improved, we tend to notice what's not improved, and then we're back focusing on what's not yet healed, or what's not yet where we want it to be. And that would include weight or whatever. Don't notice the weight that you want to lose. Feel light and good as if you've already reached it, and keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And yes, you'll get feedback of it's getting better and better. And it may not happen at first, but it will get better and better. But then don't lodge there thinking about numbers and getting in the logical mind. Just keep doing I'm ideal, and this is me, and I'm feeling good. And then smile when you do notice with awareness some of those differences. When it comes to love, It's about feeling in love before you see the love. It's about feeling the ideal relationship before you see it. Whether you're with someone or not with someone, you're giddy, you're at peace, you're calm. And what does that feel like? What does that look like? It works, by the way, with, and this is separate from love, it's almost like a method acting. If there's a career you want, like a musician or an actress, be the actress. Be the musician. This is who I am. I am. This is what I'm talking about. Becoming who you are and who you want to be inside first, and then you will see it on the outside. It has to be your reality first before it becomes the reality. Try it out. Even if you can only do it for small measures each day, try it out daily. Try it to be it every waking hour as much as you can. Don't make a joke about it. Don't be light about it. This is serious stuff. Don't be insecure about it. Just become what you want to be. You've seen it. You've seen it even in fictional movies. We've heard about it from the most successful. They showed up. How many of you are now nurses or doctors that used to play nursing and being a doctor? You became what you are. It happens so much for the most successful. As little kids, they dressed the part. They knew. Little kids know. This is what I'm talking about. It's not too late. You're not too old. Get at it. There are people that have had stage 4 cancers that have been told to close things out and are still on this earth because they went within. Their will wanted to, and their will went to it to change their outcome. It's possible. Become what you want to have. Become what you want to be. Thank you so much for joining me this Sunday. I hope you have a great day. I hope you all got through the storms okay that have been really happening lately. I hope you have a week like I had this week, where everything's giving back to you. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. And join me on Instagram and on Facebook at my business page, Spirit Teacher Lisa M. Hop. Thank you so much and have a very blessed day.